Los que falo portugués saben que yo no falo portugués. Se nota, ¿no? Buenas noches, good evening, bon nuit, damas, caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames and messieurs, and everyone in between. It is with great pleasure that we present to you tonight, here at COP30 in Belém, Brazil, the Fossil of the Day Award. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, the Fossil of the Day Award is given out each and every night of COP to the country or countries that are the best at being the worst, that do the most to do the least, and who try in every plenary, every breakout meeting, every formal, informal, and informal formal to make sure we do not reach a fair, fast, funded, feminist, and forever climate agreement. Can we get a boo for all the fossils out there? Okay, this is kind of the one place in COP where you're allowed to yell boo at stuff. I know you want to do it sometimes when your country delegate says that thing that you know is not true. So channel that energy. Can we get a boo for all the fossils out there? And the Fossil of the Day Award, in case you don't know, is given out each day by the Climate Action Network International, a network of more than 2,000 groups across the world fighting for climate justice. And won't you join us, please, before we begin the show, in singing our beloved Fossil of the Day anthem, a song which dates back to time immemorial, before any of us remembered what life without COP was like, or what life without canned water was like. So please, won't you join us? The words are simple: Fossil of the Day, Fossil of the Day. Who is bad?
Who is good?
Ah, you've been here before. This is the difference between week 2 and week 1. Fossil of the Day, Fossil of the Day. All the blame?
All the blame.
Fossil of the Day. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Yeah. All right, maestro, if you please. Of the day, fossil of the day. Who is bad? Who is worse? Fossil of the day, fossil of the day. All the blame, all the shame. Fossil of Thank you. And welcome to Monday evening of week 1 of COP here at COP30 in Belém, Brazil. Week 2, thank you. The time just goes in circles here, living this giant trachea together. And I hope, did you have a restful weekend?
No!
Or were you partying because we're in Brazil? Okay, there's a lot of bashful faces out there. But good, you know, you gotta support the mind and the soul at the same time. And week 2, it's an important moment at COP because things are starting to move. We're starting to move from putting stuff into the text to seeing what's gonna be axed out at the last moment and to see what will potentially make it into the final agreement that comes out of here that could transform the future of our planet. Or it could be axed by the Saudis at 3 a.m. on Friday. You never know, so you gotta kind of keep watching until the very end. And there's a lot at play here in week 2 of COP. The president's really trying to get some text pushed forward around adaptation finance. Let's see if that comes out. And we're maybe even making some progress on getting fossil fuel phase out in the text. It would be good if you think it wouldn't be controversial. But I've heard rumors that the Earth is actually considering changing its relationship status with fossil fuels from married to it's complicated as part of its process to opening up its relationship officially to renewable energy. And last week, we saw here huge progress on just transition, getting a mechanism being brought into the text step by step by step. And in week 2, we're going to see who is supporting that and who is blocking that. EU, UK, Australia, Canada, Japan, Norway, and IEG. We are looking at you. Just transition is not an option. It's an essential part of the work that must come out of this place. And this week will show also where the world stands on adaptation and climate finance. And watch, at the end of the week, it always gets awkward. It's always like that moment when everyone's already ordered at the restaurant, and then at some point everyone's like, wait, who's going to pay for all this? And all the rich countries were like, oh, well, we ordered first, so it was before we talked about it, so you guys can all pay, and then everyone starts fighting over the bill, and things fall apart, potentially. But we might also see the progress that we need to fund mechanisms that they're talking about here. There's a lot of proposals about things that will be done here, about mechanisms. But we know that funding underpins each and every one of those, and without funding, we cannot be expecting advancement on almost any of these areas. Another crucial area to watch out for. And finance is not an add-on, it's a must. Seriously.
I love this.
What we're talking about here requires money. And what's been offered so far is like what Jeff Bezos tips the waiter at the restaurant. We need actual money coming in on scale with the crisis we are facing. And to date, instead of real money being put forward, we've been getting off all sorts of excuses, market solutions, private finance, offsets. And it is time to stop this narrative that there's not money, because it seems like the super rich actually have a lot of money. So maybe if we tax the super rich, there'll be money for climate finance. What do you think?
Yes!
Are there any super rich out there that want to come? Okay, wrong crowd, sorry. Okay, but, so week 2, it's going to be exciting. But today, we also have an exciting word to give, because it's not like normal fossils, because this one is, drum roll please. Oh look, it's invisible. It's invisible, that's right, because it's methane. Methane, the invisible, friendly greenhouse gas. It's not like CO2 that lasts 200 years in the atmosphere. No, methane. And it's agricultural methane. It's not like that dirty fossil methane that, you know, is a supercharged greenhouse gas that is more than 100 times more potent than CO2 while in the atmosphere. No. This is the friendly agricultural methane. Can we give it up for friendly agricultural methane? Okay, you're not buying it. No, but seriously, this is, you know, this comes from a just transition process where animals are enslaved and put into industrial feedlots and force-fed GM corn that's been baked and saturated in petrochemicals deriving from fossil fuels, and then they're fed so much that they burp. They don't fart, they burp. That's like fight misinformation right here and now. And this actually produces huge amounts of methane, but it's not that bad kind of methane, like fossil methane, even though it is chemically identical and actually has all the same impact in the atmosphere as the methane from fracking when you crack the surface of the earth, how to catch the methane that's rising up towards the atmosphere. No? No one seems convinced here. Shall we go to the real fossil of the day winner then?
Yeah!
A drum roll, if you please, for today's Fossil of the Day award. Today's Fossil of the Day award goes to... Whoa! New Zealand! New Zealand, what are you doing? Is there anyone who can come up and accept this heinous award? Oh, okay, we got one over there. All the way from the other side of the world. Come on over here, New Zealand. I'm very disappointed in you. We're expecting more. Come, stand up here. You get your trophy. Can we get a boo for New Zealand? The Kiwi officials claim our cows' emissions don't really stink up the climate. Today at COP30, New Zealand earns the Fossil of the Day award for weakening its methane target in the middle of a methane crisis, and doing so while insisting that everything is just fine. With ministers meeting in Belém for the Global Methane Pledge, the world is already far off track from reaching its already modest goal of cutting methane 30% by 2030. Far below what science requires. This was New Zealand's moment for courage, but instead it chose to cower. Boo, New Zealand! In a move that stunned observers but delighted the livestock lobby, the government quietly lowered its methane emission from 24 to 47% cut to just 14 to 24% cut, so 1 in 4 to 1 in 5. It's actually a big difference. A range that New Zealand's own climate change minister admitted that it was not aligned with 1.5 degrees C. Methane emissions are rising faster than any other time in history, It is gas more than 80 times more powerful than CO2 over 20 years and with nearly half of your emissions. Yet New Zealand has embraced the controversial no additional warming framing. They argue that biogenic methane from animals like cows should be treated differently from other greenhouse gases because it is short-lived in the atmosphere. But science says all methane behaves the same in the atmosphere. Can't argue with chemistry, people. New Zealand's backside comes just as agribusiness influence reaches its peak visibility, with former livestock lobbyists now promoted to the seats, giving the methane industry front row control of methane policy. And even in Brazil,
Yes.
in the year leading up to COP30, this really blew me away actually, I didn't know. 10 of the world's largest livestock and fertilizer corporations bankrolled nearly 200 Brazilian social media influencers, from models to doctors to news anchors, to promote industry-friendly narratives, from meat for health to glossy music video beef propaganda. Boo! Against this backdrop, New Zealand's retreat sends a signal that other high methane countries may now feel emboldened to follow. Ireland has been considering a similar move. Ireland, don't you even think about it, we're watching you. Once one domino falls, the others could soon follow. This is not leadership, New Zealand. It is not science-based, and it is certainly not consistent with the Paris Agreement or with the UNFCCC principles of equity and responsibility. For choosing political convenience over planetary safety, and for lighting the fuse of our global methane race to the bottom, New Zealand fully deserves today's fossil of the day. New Zealand, is there anything you could say for yourself?
Now, I need to cause you a little disappointment because I'm actually not from New Zealand, but I do have a very good friend who works for the New Zealand dairy industry. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us today because her private jet was delayed, but she did send us a written statement which I'm now going to read aloud. We know that methane is our emergency brake, but we don't care. We love cooking the climate and we think everyone else should do climate action, but not us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's true. If we're going to start stopping climate change anywhere, maybe stopping supercharged greenhouse gases could be a great way to start. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, and everyone in between. If you'd like a press release, cut it up or scan the QR code on the bottom of either of our banners, and we'll see you back here tomorrow and every night at 6 p.m. to find out who's the best at being the worst. But before you go, won't you join us in singing the fossil anthem just one last time? You can even come up here and dance if you feel so. Maestro, if you please.
Yalla. I'm in.